Hey friend, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to automate effects in Presonus Studio One. We're going to be going over automating effects sends today for a guitar as well as for a vocal, and this is going to give you better control over your effects sends throughout your song without having to go in and manually turn them on and off or mute out vocal sections on effects. But before we dive in here, if you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an audio engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through the entire mixing process step by step to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more of the guesswork and without any more of the hassle. Like I said, completely free guide for you to download, and you can get access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. Now let's jump in here and look at automating some effects here in Studio One. I'm going to hit play on this verse section just so you can hear the song we're dealing with, and you'll hear one of the breaks here that we're going to be automating with. And I'm going to let it run into the solo section here as well on this guitar. So take a listen of what we have so far.
You don't need no diamond ring, and I'll be satisfied. Tell me that you want those kinds of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
So I let it run through the solo there into the next chorus because I wanted you to hear this electric guitar as it transitions into the chorus. We've got a couple pieces here where I want effects to be and then where I don't want them to be. You can hear on the vocal we have a slap delay running, but then there's this break in the entire song, a drum break, bass break, guitar break, where only the vocal hangs over, and I want to mute the slap delay there, and I don't want to have to put it on one vocal and then mute out that vocal and not have it on the other vocal. I just want it to automatically mute out in this section of the song and then come right back in for the next line. And then the other thing I want is I want to put some kind of effect just on the solo of the guitar, but then not have it on the rhythm parts in the chorus. So a couple things here that we need to tackle. The first one we're going to do is this vocal here. So I'm going to hit play a little bit closer, and I'm going to show you what I want to happen. I'm going to do it manually here in this section of this song. So where this break is, this vocal line here, I want no slap delay on.
Money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
So I just did it manually there. That's what I want to happen. As this piece comes by, I want the slap delay effect to mute and then come back in for the next line there. So how do we do that here inside of Studio One? Now you could come over here and create an automation lane or come down and do it on the actual vocal track here, sending out and just mute the actual send. What we're going to do is we're going to mute this track here on the actual fader. So we're going to mute the actual slap delay return instead of the send here. So if I click on the mute button here, you can see it creates a little option up here to automate the mute button. So I'm going to click this A, and it's going to create an automation lane for me for the slap delay effect. So now I can come in and I can see, okay, just this line here, I want it to mute. So I'm putting little markers here before and after the line, and then I can just pull up this piece here. So now before this line, you can see our slap delay is active, and then once we get into this section here, it'll mute, and then it'll come back in. So let's listen to this section again now with the slap delay mute on.
Tell me that you want those kinds of things that money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
So it brings it down in that section and makes sure we don't have this effect hanging over where everything else in the song mutes out. Everything else mutes out, the effect mutes out, it's just this vocal by itself, and then everything comes back in and we have this huge lift back into the song. Let's do it one more time in another section here and we will move on. So we have the same piece here in an earlier verse.
That makes you feel alright. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
So we have that same break. We want to mute it out on the vocal here. We want to take out that slap delay there on the break. So we'll go here, before the vocal and after. So before our vocal comes back in, we'll pull this up. So that means before this vocal line, our slap delay is active. In these verse sections, we have the break, our slap delay will mute back out, and then it will turn right back on for the next section here.
Friend, if it makes you feel alright, I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. I give you all I've got to give.
So that's how we can take care of actually muting out a certain effect on a vocal. Like I said, we could turn off the actual option on the send, so we could automate the actual send to the track. But here on this vocal, I just wanted that slap delay to mute completely there on that one line and then turn back on. Sometimes when you turn off the send, you can have a little bit of overhang into that section. It's such a quick part that if I were to automate the send to turn off there, we could have some slap delay that hangs over into that section because it's about 120 millisecond slap delay. And with something like a reverb as well, if we automate the send there, the reverb could still hang over into that quiet section. So just muting the effect out there on that channel works for this section. We're going to do the alternative now on this guitar. So coming into the solo, I want to turn on this quarter note delay on the guitar. So take a listen here, and then we're going to turn on an automation on the actual send here.
Buy me love.
So that's kind of how I want it to work there. While the solo is happening, I want to have this quarter note delay to give a bit more dimension to the solo and to kind of make it separate from the rest of the rhythm guitar so it doesn't feel the same and it doesn't blend into the rest of the track. It gives it some differentiation between the rest of the guitar and the rest of the track and this solo section here. It makes it stand out in the mix. So I want that to come on there, but I want it to disappear when we jump back into this chorus section. I want it to mute back out. So here, I'm actually going to automate the send. So I have this send on our guitar. We're sending to our quarter note delay here. I have it turned off. So if I click on and off on the delay here, you can see it'll create that same automation option up here in the corner. So I have it off, and then if I click this A here, it'll create an automation lane for me. And now I can come here before the solo, create a little marker, and then come here after the solo, right before our guitar comes back in for the chorus, put another little marker. I can pull this section down so it's opposite our sections on either side here. So before we have no delay, during the solo, our delay kicks in, and then right at the end of our solo going into the chorus, our delay will mute back out. So take a listen here now on this solo going back into the chorus section. That's it. Those are both the ways we can automate on and off a different effect here. Just to go back and review, the two methods we're using to automate effects is we're muting one completely out. So on our vocal, we're actually muting the actual channel here on our vocal. You can see it in action here on this quiet vocal section here.
I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love.
So there we're actually muting the effect channel, the actual fader that our effect is coming up on, muting that out completely there. And then our other alternative here, our other option that we're going over is we're automating the actual send to our effects return here. So from our actual instrument channel, so our guitar channel here, we have our send that's sending out to our quarter note delay effect. We're automating on and off this send to the channel. So sometimes, meaning only during the solo here, our automation will be on, so it kicks in. We turn on this effect for the guitar, we send to that channel, and then after the solo is over, this send turns off, and we are no longer sending the guitar to that effects channel. The other couple options, if you want to go into volume automation, you're doing it the same way here. We just click on the actual fader. It creates our option up here. We click our A, And then on that same channel, you can see our other automation going on underneath, and it gives us these couple options here. So we can mess with our mute here, and we can also mess with our volume automation. Those are the ways we can automate our effects inside of Presonus Studio One. Just a quick one for you here today, a little bit of tactical work going on inside of Studio One with our effects sends. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process and really start dialing in your workflow, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can get access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. It's going to help you dial in your workflow in mixing to help you get more professional and radio-ready mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.